Hey guys, we're back again with another video, and today what I want to talk with you about is sugar. Okay, now I know in the last couple of videos we've talked previously about a little bit about sugar or cutting out sugar, but I really wanted to talk about my experience so far, getting into shape and cutting out a lot of the foods that I was eating, and my previous failures. So before I decided to do this journey, right, I always had trouble losing weight, and I would kind of go up and down. I would start for 30 days or so, and then I would go back to eating junk food, and I would lose a little bit of weight, and I would gain it right back. And one of the things that I didn't really consider or understand was the junk food that I was eating was almost like making a drug addict relapse, right? So what I found out was they did a study with cocaine addicted rats. They were given two options with two levers inside their cage. If they hit one lever, they got a dose of cocaine. If they hit the other lever, they got a dose of sugary water. Okay, and realized that these rats were already addicted to cocaine. Okay, so they already had the addiction. The rats ended up asking for the sugar water over the cocaine. And the reason it's so significant is because it shows that the dopamine that's released, right, from having this sugar was stronger than that of cocaine. And that's a big fucking eye-opener for me, right? And the reason why is because I didn't realize the type of withdrawals I was having. I just thought, oh man, like this food tastes like crap. And no, yes, part of it is getting used to healthier options, right? But the other part of it is that my brain and my body were withdrawing from the sugar. And the reason I say that now is because this time in particular, I have gone extremely healthy, and I have cut out almost all processed sugar. Like, I'm very raw right now, a lot of raw vegetables, just meat, right? I do put seasonings on the meat, but really I haven't had any ice cream, I haven't had any desserts. And one of the problems I was having the last time when I was trying to get into shape is that, within that 30-day time frame of me, losing a little bit of weight, I would stop and I'd go, okay, I deserve a treat. And the first thing that I would go for is something fatty and sugary. And what happened? All of a sudden, my brain was given another hit of that. And I would fall off my diet because my body would be craving that sugar again. I would never get that craving out of my system. And this time in particular, it's gone. I have no cravings for sugar. I can sit here and look at these sugary desserts and all this different stuff, and I can go, nah, I'm not feeling it. I have never been able to do that. And because we're almost to the point of 60 days, right, of me eating healthy, that craving is absolutely gone. I have flushed it out of my system. And so it really makes me rethink, and one of the reasons I want to do a video on it is because it is so important and vital that we cut sugar out of our fucking diet. Everything, all this processed junk is filled with sugar. And sugar does some really horrible shit to your fucking body, There's a lot of heart surgeons and people that deal with cardiovascular stuff that are all coming and saying, hey, you need to cut the processed sugar. And I just want you guys to know, if you don't do anything else, try your damnedest to cut sugar out of your fucking diet. And I'm telling you, if you can make it 60 days, right? And I know it seems like a really long time, but even 30 days, right? Because I really feel like when I hit that 30-day mark and I hadn't had any sugar, I was good to go. But if you can make it 30 to 60 days without any sugar, man, you might just kick the fucking withdrawals from the sugar and really be able to accelerate your weight loss, because I didn't realize how addictive it was. And I'll put a little link or, something to show you the study with the rats. But I never knew that. I never been told that. And it's probably one of those things where all these food companies that are making millions of dollars selling you some sugary shit didn't want that coming out, right? And it's something that wasn't publicized, at least anytime I watch the media, not something that was publicized. And so you really got to cut the fucking sugar out. The sugar is going to be the fucking death of you. And I want you guys to succeed. So do some research. There is a book, let me see if I can find the name of it. There is a book to read. It's called The Case Against Sugar. Look that up, buy that book, and read it, okay? And I'm telling you, do some research today on sugar and its effects the effects it has on the body. Do some research on the addiction of sugar. And see if you can find the study, okay, with the rats. See if you can find other studies that show the addictive properties of sugar and the bad things that it does to your body. Heart disease is one of those things that really wasn't very big until the last couple hundred years, right? And I feel like one of the reasons that it wasn't very big is because we had to spend a lot of the time going out and hunting for our food. We had to grow our food. A lot of it was natural. And now all of a sudden, over the last 150 years, and I was watching a doctor talk about it, and he was talking about how normally genetic health conditions don't show up after 100 years. It takes a very long time for genetic health conditions to show up, right? And he was saying that all of a sudden, heart problems have become a thing, and doctors, as like a default, just tell you, oh, hey, it's genetics. When in reality, they know for a fact that it happens over a series, multiple hundreds of years for you to have genetic health conditions, right? And really, it all boils down to what you are eating. All of this shit that's happening with the pharmaceutical company, them popping out more pills for doctors just to prescribe to you. The truth is, if you clean up your eating, you're going to have to spend less time in the doctor's office. And some of these doctors don't want that, right? Some of the doctors want to continue to make as much money as they possibly can. But some, like this guy who was a heart surgeon, he's like one of the #1 heart surgeons in the world, right? And he was saying that he wants to keep people off of his operating table because he had an experience where he had a 30-year-old mother who he ended up having to have surgery on, and she died on the table, and he walked outside and he had to fucking tell her kids, hey, look, your mom didn't make it. And he said that was like super fucking traumatic for him, and that was when he decided to change and try to keep people off of his table instead of just letting it continue to happen, right? And so he's got a book. I haven't read it yet, but I really want to read it. Keeping You Off My Table, I believe it is what it's called. But man, it's an eye-opener. Like an eye-opener to the medical industry, the pharmaceutical industry, all these different industries. And no one's doing anything to really stop food companies from feeding you all this shit. And ultimately, I understand we want the freedom to be able to make the choice. And you know what? If they're going to continue to put it out there, it is what it is, right? I don't want to prevent people from making choices. I want them to have the freedom to make the choice. I want you to have the freedom to make the choice of whatever it is that you want to eat, right? But I am telling you, if you can cut that out of your diet and just stop buying it, maybe the best thing that we can do is stop funding stuff that's killing us, right? Start buying more raw things. Make the demand for raw and healthy stuff go up and the demand for sugary and processed crap go down. because if the demand goes down, guess what? They're no longer going to be producing this shit because all the money they spend in advertising isn't working, because nobody's buying it, so they're going to switch to healthy options. So that requires us doing the work and watching our nutrition and eating the healthier stuff. So the biggest thing I want you to take away from this video today is cut out sugar out of your diet as much as you can, right? Take all of it out, because at the end of the day, you're going to feel so much healthier. Your body's going to thank you. You're going to live longer. You're going to cut weight like fucking crazy. And you're going to get rid of a fucking addiction that you didn't even know you had, right? Didn't even know. You're just like, oh, I got a little sweet tooth today. No, it's not a sweet tooth. It's fucking stronger than cocaine. So, yeah. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. Cut sugar out of your diet. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. We want to keep going and keep pressing on our journey here for 365 days. I'm so proud of you guys. Yeah, I just hope you have an amazing day. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.
Not humans. That said, here at Brown University in Rhode Island, they're doing studies they think should make a lot of humans nervous. This rat is perfectly healthy. Put him in a vat of water and he finds his way to safety every time.
5.2.
Now, look at this guy. What he's been eating is the equivalent of a North American diet, complete with all the fats and sugars we regularly consume. He doesn't know where to go. His brain has been damaged.
These rats were totally normal, and then they turned into demented animals. They don't remember their learning after even a day. And as the challenge gets harder and harder, they fail more and more, just like a human with Alzheimer's disease.
36.2.
In this lab, the belief now is that Alzheimer's is really diabetes of the brain, linked to insulin levels, which can be affected by too much sugar.